B1 Radio, it's Mags in the morning with J9.
Good morning.
You know how we do. We wake up the Secret City each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. And we are live in the mix. And just as luck would have it, when we were talking about the mobile app, right? We were talking about because our mobile apps have been down because we've been doing upgrading. But as luck would have it, I went to go tune in to my mobile app, which was Android, and it is now live.
Your face. I was like,
yes,
wait, you look really happy right now.
Yes, it's relief. It's relief.
You were in disbelief, though.
Yeah,
hold on.
Yeah, it was one of those moments that it was like, whoa. But yeah, so both mobile apps are now up and running. Apple and Android. So you can continue streaming and listening to WMB1 Radio on the go. And that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
That's a great thing. Yeah, it is. It is. It's a good thing. So yeah, you could just casually just hit that app again and tune in.
Yeah, I want to know who has it too. Screenshot your app and inbox.
Yeah. Put it in the thread. Put it in the thread. Screenshot it. Right? Let us know, man, because it's a big thing. So we've had the mobile app. I want to say for a little over 2 years, and to have the disconnection that we did, I kind of felt bad. People hitting the app and nothing being there. So now we're back up and running. And it's a good feeling just to know that, you can just hit, an app and boom, up and running. Yes, so Android and iPhone back up. But it doesn't stop there. Continue going to WMB1.com because with this upgrade, soon we're going to be live. We're going to be live. You're going to be able to watch Mags in the morning with J9.
Yes.
We're going to have a camera up, and you're going to be able to watch, live mixes, the whole nine. All right. So it's going to be, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. So, like I said before, it'll be a lot more interactive. And if you're watching on Facebook, obviously, we can't play music. But if you go to WMB1.com, you'll be able to watch the mixes in its entirety. All right. You'll be able to see me mixing. J9 will be in the background doing her thing. It's a lot more personal.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we're striving for.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's what we're striving for. To give the listeners a real, true experience. And that's what we're going to do. And so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Coming up soon right here on WMB1.com.
Stay tuned. Coming up soon.
Yeah. So looking at some of the responses,
yes.
All right. One was brought up, and it's like, what if women hit a man first? My thing would be is to remove yourself from the situation.
Thank you.
Just walk away. Just walk away.
Which he didn't do because he came back down the hall and chased her.
No, he was so obviously, he was in the shower and she tried to make a getaway. And he obviously heard her or seen her, whatever the case was.
I thought he was sleeping. And
he was, I don't know.
Either way,
he had a towel on.
Yeah. They grabbed it. He was.
Yeah, he had a towel on.
Allegedly.
So I'm gonna say that probably he was probably going into the shower or something. He could have been sleeping.
Or he was
naked.
Sleeping. Then the only thing he could grab was a towel.
Yeah.
To run up the hall.
Yeah. So, but whatever the case may be, if a woman, I look at it this way: if a woman were to start swinging on you, remove yourself from the situation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that as a man, you could simply just, hold them and then just remove yourself from the situation. No need to, meet force with force.
Yeah.
With a woman. There's no place for it. And just, like I said, remove yourself. Protect yourself, but remove yourself.
Yeah.
Because once again, I mean, it's just, it's not fair. And there's no, like I said, there's just no place for hitting on women.
No.
And in today's day and age, there's going to be a lot of pushback.
That was like,
yeah, it was tough to watch. It was tough to watch. So yeah, I mean, the majority of our the responses were like, it's truly horrible, unbelievable. Um, and I put up on my social media, was it, did you think it was sincere or was it scripted?
Mm-hmm.
And in seeing the video, I think, of course he's going to want to try to put something out there, a PR move, in the way of, okay, all right, this is, I'm truly sorry, and that was me in the past. No, this is you, this has been you for years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And people, yes, and it's on video, and we've explained this before. There's nothing worse, if I tell you a story, right? If I tell you a story and you don't have the visual, it doesn't hit the same. But as soon as I show you the video, whew, it takes on a whole different realm. And once again, we didn't have the video. We just had words. We had words on a paper, and we were like, okay, either we accept it or we don't. And now we get to see the video, and like I said, it takes on a whole different dimension to see the physical act, to see her being, thrown down and kicked and then dragged. That's wild. It's wild.
That point when she's at the elevator and just waiting, she could probably just think of what is going through her whole mind and body, as she can just hear those floors dinging, and then you can hear him huffing up the hall. Like, she has to relive that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Every single time. So for him to go, my thing is how hard he went to deny it, you know what I mean, and just make her look horrible.
Yeah, you know what? Once again, I hate to sound like, repeat myself, but everything that you do eventually comes back.
Yeah.
Eventually comes back, in one form or another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what he's got to deal with. Like I said, if he were smart, remember how, when they raided the house and they said, oh, Diddy's gone to Cape Verde Islands and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If I were him, I would literally relocate. I would relocate, because it doesn't make a difference where he goes. He's going to get mocked.
Yep.
He's going to be trolled. And I frankly, I don't know what he could do.
It's what he could have done. There's nothing he can do now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing he can do now. And some people, like, everybody deserves a second chance. There's things in life that you do that you do not deserve a second chance. And in this case, if he admitted and did a confessions and either stayed silent or said, yes, I did do wrong, I seeked help for it. But he did not do that. He lied about it. There's no turning back. There's nothing that he can say that's going to be believable or think that he cares about anything. And then Mother's Day, posting all those women up there, it's like a joke. It's just getting worse and worse. Yes.
Yeah, he made a mockery of it.
No.
And
Diddy nothing.
It just shows the character, the type of character it's supposed.
Exactly. It's a joke.
It was like he wanted people to their sympathy. It was like he wanted their sympathy, like, oh, my ex is gone, she's died, my mother, and I actually have respect. And it's just one big contradiction. And it like I said, it's very misfortunate for everybody, for all parties involved, and
the people with the tape.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing if you hear something, or it's like, okay, when they say, like I shared, Gina Barboza had posted something on Instagram yesterday, and like she said, the people had the tape in a hand, right? It wasn't like gossip or hearsay. You have the evidence. Why is someone's life worth $50,000 to you, or whoever you split that with? Like, are you sleeping at night? I get karma and all that, but for people to feel that comfortable to just say, who cares what happens to Cassie? Like, probably watching the news after, like, I could have stopped this, but I didn't.
Yeah.
They had evidence. It's not gossip. It's not hearsay. Like, I heard she's in an abusive relationship. Like, you have a tape that shows the abuse, and you decide to wash it away, to put it under the rug. I don't understand. There's no amount of money. Like, you have the evidence.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there'll always be those people who are going to try to profit and make money because let's face it, they have no emotional ties. If it were their sister, if it were their aunt, if it were their mother, then it would be a different story. But it's just it was a quick money grab for them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised in the coming days, wherever that took place at, if people do some digging and stuff like that to find out where it happened, literally to who was in charge of security, there's going to be a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, people do wild things for money, wild things for money. And, this is just the way of the world. It's the way of the world.
Yeah.
But you were talking earlier about the response at Cassie's husband.
Yes. So he came out and he put a lot out there. And just think of, he's obviously known this and been holding in and watching the scrutiny and everything that she's been dealing with online because she opened up or had this case that Diddy settled immediately, same day. So he just came out and was vocalizing, you don't hit women, same as you're saying, you exit a situation if something is out of hand, but just giving the utmost respect to not only Cassie but all victims who have to go through this. And he's like, your day is coming, the light is coming, and just kind of giving them all some positive words who have been in the situation that he's witnessed and taking care of a woman who has this trauma from being beaten. That's what we saw.
Yeah.
That's not what happened in a room or ongoing times that she tried to escape and was not able to,
Yeah, well, she was physically dragged back in.
Yes. But that's only one day. That's one time. If you go through all the awards, if you start looking through pictures, you can see her face. Her whole face she looks miserable.
Yeah.
And I know it's a capture. It's just a photo, but you can see things,
Yeah, and it only it only makes it hit harder now when you listen to some of the reports. One mainly of her, of a bodyguard who basically went on the record and said, after these beatings, he would send her away. He would send her away to trips to remote islands for her to heal up.
So nobody can see the marks,
so nobody would see her. So now you start thinking about it. And you're like, wow, wow. And you know
she
what?
She probably had no phone, no access to. It's like, how? There's always a way. If he can convince the world, that he didn't do something that he did, then he's capable of anything.
You know what's wild now? So we know Aubrey O'Day. We know that she's been out there and she's been like adding snippets and putting her, her little input into, all the things that have been going on. And now she's about to become even more vocal, to add, the cred to her stories. It's going to be interesting in the coming days, what she says and what she presents.
Yeah.
And it, like I said, people do wild things for money. I'm wondering if there are other women out there that he has dated in the past, if they're going to come forward, or like I said, I'm not protecting him. I'm not by any means advocating. But now you got to be careful because it opens Pandora's box for everybody just to come forward and say, well, he beat me. So we know, and people have pushed and wanted to know, J Lo.
Yeah.
I think the Diddy that we're seeing now wasn't the Diddy that we saw 25 years ago.
I think he was kind of going into that right after, when J Lo left, and that just.
I think when once he was done with
so
J Lo.
Hope.
Yeah. Well,
because he had cases right.
They've pushed and they've prodded and poked, and the people who she was close to said that never happened. That type of behavior never was displayed while he was with her.
Yeah.
So we know that it started manifesting itself.
The power, the money, and
post J Lo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty wild. It's just it's kind like I said, it's hard to wrap your head around
it
when you watch the video and you see this. Like I said, a lot of emotions came through. Anger, sorrow. Like I said, I can only relate because I have daughters, and I would. I can't even imagine if that were my daughter. I just, the rage in me would be uncontrollable. It would be uncontrollable. And of course, as a dad, you'd want to protect your child, regardless of the age. And I like to hear from Cassie's parents. I like to hear from her dad. And I think in moving forward, this would, it would add some type of, feeling to it. Because right now, without not hearing from any of it, I don't know what went into her settlement details and stuff like that, but the parents weren't part of the settlement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I'm looking for the dad to come up and stick his chest out.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of things. So if we go way back and we look at the rise of Cassie, all right. So Cassie was ultimately discovered by, was it Ryan Leslie?
Yes.
Ultimately was discovered by Ryan Leslie, and taken over by Diddy.
Yeah.
And at a very young age. I want to say when she was first discovered, she was 17?
She was not an adult yet.
Yeah. So, it had been reported that, Diddy had his eye on her. And then, took on a mentorship role. And then he wanted her, obviously when she released her first single and stuff like that, he brought her in and was like, okay, I'm going to mentor you and everything. She was still underage. It didn't become, I don't believe it didn't become public until she was like 20. And he had other plans for her. He was more into seeing her be a model.
Yeah.
He wanted her to be a model. And she wanted to be a singer because ultimately that's what. But he convinced her. Listen, so he actually took her away from the music scene and put her in the modeling scene.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened, if it were her or him, and then she came back to the music scene. But it's just at a very young age, you ask, where were the parents?
Yeah.
How could you, I know if it were I don't care if you're 15, 25, I'm going to have some, as a father, as a protector, you're going to have, especially in show business.
Yeah.
You look at show business and how it swallows people up and how things are, how the stories of females having to do things to gain popular, to be put on and stuff like that, being taken advantage of, basically.
And maybe they tried to stop her.
Yeah.
Maybe
we don't know.
You know what I mean? And
we
maybe
don't know.
that's why we don't know. Maybe they tried.
But this is the thing. I would like to hear. I would like to hear from her dad.
Yeah.
Mainly. on this. Just it doesn't have to be. Listen, I'm outraged. I need something.
Yeah.
To know that there's a dad there, there's a mom there, parents. We've seen everybody else come up, but we've yet to hear from the parents.
Yeah.
I like I said, I don't know the whole litigation thing with the settlement, but those are parents. That's not. So as far as Cassie, one of the things was she was not to say Diddy's name. Literally.
Yeah.
Not to say his name. So this is why I think there's, with the release of the video, there's a whole nother wave of things that are coming. And with that being said, she'll probably be able to say his name in a different way.
Yeah.
Not pertaining to the the whole settlement case. So we shall see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Time will definitely tell.
Time will tell. But a lot of people are coming out. He was protected by a lot of people.
Yeah. Money, power, and we can't even say respect, but just money and power, right? One of the songs, obviously, but money has a way, like we said, of making people do wild things. And this is just one of them. The protection, the buying of the tape, people being quiet out of fear of what will I do to your career if you don't back me, or if you remain quiet. So it's different. We're in a different day, a different time, and social media helps that a lot. Because a lot of the things that, almost like racism, right? You think about it, a lot of the things that were being told weren't being believed, but once you add a video to it, it's powerful, right?
Like they said, things didn't just start now; it's just being recorded.
Yes, that was a famous quote by Will Smith.
Yeah.
One of the famous quotes by Will Smith. Racism has always been there, but now it's being recorded, and it's being put out there on a platform where the world can view it. And this is where we are with domestic violence too. A lot of times, we didn't have a face to put on social media to see it, to believe it, and now we have that. So there's no coming back from it now. Once again,
and it's the why too. It's like when people say, if someone's well, what did they do? What did they wear? It's always like they make it okay. So if for racism, like if it's just take that like a woman, if they're saying, oh well, what if the woman hit first, or what it's always an excuse. With missing murdered Indigenous women, there's actually a fashion show, and they have the dresses. It's called like What Did They Wear? And it's all these women who were raped, and the first thing people are like, what do they wear? And when you see these outfits, it's like long floral skirts, a button-up blouse. Like it doesn't matter what they wore.
Yeah.
Is the point. And nothing okays abusing a woman. Nothing okays an officer abusing a civilian or you know what I mean? There is no okay.
You shouldn't have to ask a question why when someone was physically or sexually assaulted.
Yes.
It's wrong. It's wrong right then and there. We when someone robs a bank, we don't ask, well, why did you rob a bank? It's a crime, right?
Yeah, it's a crime.
It's a crime.
It doesn't matter.
And regardless of why you robbed the bank, it's a crime.
It's not okay.
And it's the same thing for assault, rape, so forth and so on. But yeah, it's very misfortunate, but it is one of the topics that we are touching today. We'll try to move on for it. But once again, add your comments in the link below. Let us know what you think of the whole situation. And there's more to come.
Yep.
There's more to come. So stay tuned. All right. More news to come on the whole Diddy and Cassie saga.
The Diddy did it saga.
Yes, the Diddy.
You said it fast.
Diddy definitely did it. We now know that. But once again, great news. All our apps are now up, fully functionable. All right. our Android and our iPhone app are fully functional. So we had a little lapse, roughly maybe 2 weeks or so, where the apps were down. They are now both up. We're proud to announce, and you can continue listening to all the great programming here that WMB1 Radio puts on. And now you have the mobile app on the go again.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're watching on Facebook, and you happen to, you want to check out the music or whatever the case is, once again, you could just boom, download the app, hit it, and you're back in business. All right. So we're proud to announce that, and also continue going to WMB1.com and checking out all the great programming that we have, because we got a lot of it. We got more to come too, more to come. So you gotta. The only way to stay involved is to visit WMB1.com.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, we're proud to announce that.
Yes, exciting.
And when we come back, we'll have some other tea.
Yes.
Speaking of J-Lo.
What is she?
J-Lo and Ben.
Yes.
Are done again.
They're done?
They're done again. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about on our next break. We'll talk about that. All right. Yeah, she can't seem to stay in a relationship.
See, no.
If it were just one incident, we're talking 4, 5. But we'll talk about that on the way back. All right?
I want to know where her max relationship window is. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Jay, no.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get back to that and much, much more. But keep it tuned, keep it locked right here at WMB1.com, WMB1 Radio. Get a little ahead of myself, but you can go to WMB1.com and listen to WMB1 Radio as well. But keep it tuned, keep it locked right here. Mags in the morning with J9. Let's go. Wake up.
Wake up.